Children kicked out their elderly parents after 45 years just to sell the family home. What the old couple found buried under their new cabin, nobody saw coming. Their son and daughter came over on a Sunday and sat down at the kitchen table like it was a normal visit. They talked for a while about how difficult it must be for two older people to manage such a big house. Then they slid a folder across the table and explained that Walter and Rose had already signed the house over to them months ago. Walter picked it up and read it. Then he read it again. Rose put her hand on his arm before he could say anything. They were out by the weekend with 2 bags and whatever furniture their children had no use for. Their grandson Marcus called that night from his car so his parents wouldn't hear and told them he had nothing to do with it and was sorry. Rose said she knew and hung up before the tears came. The forest cabin cost almost nothing because nobody else would buy it. Broken windows, a roof that leaked, and floors that shifted under every step. Walter spent the first day fixing what he could, and Rose spent it cleaning. And by evening, it felt less like a mistake and more like something worth holding on to. On the second night, Walter was checking the floors when one board shifted differently under his foot. He pulled it up and found a heavy iron hatch underneath, rusted shut, with markings he had never seen before. It took him 2 hours and every tool he owned to get it open. Inside was a sealed room, packed with documents and ownership records belonging to a man named Edward Hargrove, who had built this cabin in the 1940s before losing his entire company in a corporate takeover. The records covered land, mineral rights, and investments that had been sitting completely untouched for over 70 years. Walter sat on the floor of that room for a very long time. Marcus drove out the following week and helped them find a lawyer. 2 months later, Walter and Rose sat across from that lawyer and heard a number that changed everything. 6 months after that, they moved into a house that made their old home look small. A proper garden for Rose, a proper workshop for Walter, and enough room for Marcus whenever he wanted to visit. Their son and daughter showed up 3 weeks after the move. They stood at the front door, talking about family and how none of this had to change anything between them. And Walter stood in the doorway and listened to every word. Then he said he hoped they were doing well, stepped back inside, and closed the door. Rose was in the garden when he came outside. She looked up at him, and he shook his head. She smiled and went back to her planting. They had left with 2 bags. They didn't need anything from the people who took everything from them. Comment a heart and follow for more.